Hello everyone, welcome to the Concept X. So today in this video we are going to discuss about the difference between ischemic stroke and hemorrhagic stroke. So we know what is stroke. Stroke is the reduced or interrupted blood supply to our brain cells, means our neurons. So what happened in ischemic stroke and what happened in hemorrhagic stroke? So first let's discuss the ischemic stroke. So in ischemic stroke, what happened? There is a reduced blood supply to our brain cells because of some kind of block, and the block is some deposition of only because of deposition of some kind of fats inside our carotid arteries. Let's suppose this is one carotid artery. So this carotid artery, it supply blood to this region. Let's suppose it supply blood to this region. So this carotid artery supply blood to this region. So if there is a blockage here, and the block is nothing but some kind of atherosclerosis or atheroma formation. This atheroma formation or plaque deposition is because of fats which is present inside our carotid artery. So this carotid artery, it is basically responsible to supply that nutrition and blood oxygen to this region. So when there is a blockage over here because of plaque deposition or atherosclerosis, because of that atherosclerosis or atheroma formation or plaque deposition, what happened? This blood which is coming from this direction cannot supply that blood into this region. The resulting, what happened? Because of that result, automatically this region of brain will get died. It will die because this region is receiving blood oxygen and nutrition from this carotid artery. So if there is a blockage found over here, then our blood oxygen and nutrition cannot cross that blockage, and because of that blockage, blood oxygen will not allowed to go or in forward direction to supply that nutrition in this region. So automatically, slowly there will be a ischemia formation will occur. This ischemia means that there is a sense of reversible recovery or recovery of this side, because it is called a ischemia. Ischemia is not infracted, it's ischemic. Ischemic means there is a possibility to get recovered from this kind of ischemia. If we can remove that plaque, then after a certain period of time, this region it will again recovered. But if for a prolonged period of time this plaque deposition consisted in this particular area, then after a certain period of time, what will happen? This region will become infected and it will permanently die. So what is ischemic stroke? Ischemic stroke is that kind of stroke when blood cell is become in ischemic because of lack of blood supply or interrupted blood supply, and that interruption will occur only because of some kind of plaque deposition in our carotid artery, and plaque deposition is nothing but some kind of atherosclerosis. This is the ischemic stroke. Next one, hemorrhagic stroke. What happens in hemorrhagic stroke? If there is a partial blockage over here in our artery or carotid artery, then what will happen? Our blood cannot freely move through that space towards the next destination. For example, this artery is intended to supply blood to this region. Okay. When if there is a atheroma formation in between that road of blood supply, then there is an increased pressure. It is just before that space, just prior that space, there will be increased pressure will develop in that area, and because of that pressure, the site just before that plaque, there will be bursting of blood vessels will be there. Because why this bursting of blood vessels will be there? Because there is a increased pressure in that site. Why the pressure is increased? Because in the road of blood transportation there is a clot formation, and because of that clot formation, if somehow that artery burst, in ischemic stroke also artery could be burst, then it could be hemorrhagic stroke, and subsequently it will be ischemic stroke also. But if blood vessel does not burst, then it will be ischemic stroke. If blood vessel burst and bleeding occurred inside the brain, and the blood will get deposit inside that space in between our cranium and cerebrum, which is the subdural space. So in between both the cranium and in our cerebrum, that bleeding will occur and that blood will deposit in between that space, because it is open space, so blood will definitely go and fill that space. So once that our subdural space or space between our cranium and brain or cerebrum, it become filled by blood, then blood will create some pressure on our cerebrum. So when that filled blood will create some pressure on our brain, then automatically the neurons, those are present in that cerebral cortex, that neuron will automatically die after a certain period of time. So that's why hemorrhagic stroke is more serious than ischemic stroke. So I hope you have understand the concept. What happened, let's discuss in a fast forward way that what happened in ischemic stroke. In ischemic stroke, there is a blockage in our carotid artery, and because of that blockage, the blood supply got interrupted or reduced to certain area where that carotid artery is supplying blood, resulting there will be a ischemia. It could be recoverable if we can remove that plaque by anyhow. Next one is, what is hemorrhagic stroke? If there is a partial blockage, and because of that blockage, that is a rupture of blood vessel inside our cerebrum or inside our brain, then that blood will go and it will fill the space in between our cranium and cerebrum. And because of that blood which is filled in between cerebrum and cranium, that filled blood will create pressure on our cerebrum. And then because of that pressure, as we know, the brain is a very delicate, our neurons are very delicate. So in our cortex area, because we know that periphery is a surface, that above main superficial is our cortex are present. So cerebral cortex, the cell bodies are present, neuronal cell bodies. So cell bodies will start dying. So once it dies, the complete neuron will damaged. So result subsequently what will happen? Our brain will die. It is almost, once the neurons die, then it is cannot be recovered, because we know neurons are permanent cells. So once it die, that neuron could not be replaced by any other neurons. So this is the basic difference between ischemic stroke and hemorrhagic stroke. What happened in ischemic stroke? There is a blockage in between that blood supply to a certain region of our brain. Because of that blockage, blood supply is interrupted. What happened in hemorrhagic stroke? There is a rupture of blood vessels because of some kind of blockage in that part. So in that case, blood vessels will rupture and that blood will go and it will fill the space in between our cranium and cerebrum. And then filled blood in that space will create pressure on our brain. And because of that pressure, as we know, the neurons are very delicate, so neurons will start dying. So I hope you like this video and you get the concept. Thank you.